Welcome to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Mancera's Instant Crush, so stay tuned for that. And if you like the content, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Mancera's Instant Crush is one of the latest fragrances to jump on the Buckaroos 540 hype train and sort of do their interpretation or their version of that style of fragrance. This one does have quite a few notes that I'm going to list over in the corner there, so take a look at them. Not going to go through them all right now, I'm going to just get right into it. So, I will say, right on the opening of this fragrance, I definitely get that Buckaroos 540 vibe, and unlike something like Greenwich Village, where I don't really get a lot of what I call the latex vibe that Buckaroos 540 has, this one has a very strong latex vibe in the opening, and it really does remind me 100% of Buckaroos 540. To me, there's no doubt they took inspiration from that fragrance. It does have a little bit more sweetness, as with respect to Buckaroos 540, I find the latex smell to be quite overwhelming, and it's more or less all I really get from that fragrance. This one does have a sweetness under there that does make it somewhat enjoyable in the opening. Now, as this one dries down, that latex vibe does disappear, and I do actually get a much more musky, somewhat resinous vibe that also still reminds me a lot of the sort of kind of resinous vibe that you get with Buckaroos 540. But the one thing for me that actually sets this one apart is I find deep in the dry down, I really actually enjoy this fragrance. Now, it has this really nice sweetness with a nice, almost fruity touch to it. And it's a shame because I actually really wish this was present much sooner. I don't get that on my skin until, 3 or 4 hours after spraying it. And quite frankly, I'm not willing to wear a fragrance for 3 hours that I don't like so that it becomes one that I do. So it does definitely have a lot of similarities with Buckaroos 540. And if you do like that fragrance, you will probably like this one. I do find that at least deep in the dry down, it still retains similarities, but I also find it to be much more enjoyable to wear. And so from that aspect, I definitely like this one more. Another great thing about Instant Crush is it is much cheaper than Buckaroos 540. So you can get, I believe it's 120 ml for, I'm not exactly sure on the price point, $180 I want to say, but I guarantee this one is going to come up on discounters soon enough, and a lot of the Mancera fragrances on discounters are around $100, $120, which is actually quite a reasonable price for a niche fragrance. Now, all in all, I do like this fragrance in the dry down. I don't like the opening. It smells a lot like Buckaroos 540. And I believe that's what they were definitely going for. Out of the three, I guess, if we're going to talk about Greenwich Village, which I mentioned earlier, that's my favorite because I like it at the start, the mid, and the finish. This one, I don't really like it until the dry down. The performance on this one is also quite good. It's fairly loud. I don't get absolute beast mode performance, so you can definitely spray a little more liberally, more than the, 2 sprays I would give a lot of MFK fragrances. You probably could go 3 or 4 and not choke anybody out. But it does have a very nice projection for the first 2 hours or so. And then it does sit into a nice cloud for the rest. Well, probably for about 5 or 6 hours. And then I get about 8 hours total longevity. And it's much closer to the skin for those final 2 hours. But ultimately, I think this is a great alternative to Buckaroos 540. And if you like it, you should check this one out. The price tag is also a lot better for this one. So if you haven't got your nose on this one, do check it out. And as always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.